Greetings, denizens of the interwebs. This is Jacob K. Baker for Atomic Stick Figure Productions, and welcome to Tokusatsu Smoke Break, bite-sized content all in one take. Today I'm going to be discussing a subject brought up by Dylan McCandless, aka Super DM64. Given my experience with costuming, he wanted me to talk about how I felt about various kaiju costumes. And I figured the best subject to start off this series of videos, because I'm going to do multiple ones, would be to talk about the monster Baragon, a plastic surgeon's favorite kaiju. Baragon was, of course, created for the film Frankenstein vs. Baragon, aka Frankenstein Conquers the World. And the costume is a fan favorite. The character even shows up in Dragon Ball, of all things. Now, this costume is, deservedly a fan favorite, because the design is very cool. And what I love about it is that it's a minimalist design. It's just this big, bulky, quadruped kaiju, or biped, multipedal kaiju. And he's just a big boy. He's just this big, round dinosaur with a very simplistic texture pattern, but he's got those cool segmented plates on his back. A very iconic design. Although he looks like a pug dog. I never got why they made him look like a pug, but it aided in him being adorable. Now, this costume, like I said, it's huge. And if you actually, pay attention, you can see wires holding this suit up. Which makes me question just how heavy this costume was. Because the heaviest costume I ever constructed was 120 pounds. And I could move around in that costume no problem. So, if this costume was so bulky that it needed wires to help hold it up, how much did that costume weigh? I know that there's someone out there actually knows how much it weighs, but they always list it in kilograms, and I'm an American and don't know what kilograms are translated to pounds, so I don't know. That's my bad, I guess. Now, this costume would also later be used in the Ultra franchise. First is Pegos from Ultra Q. Pegos? Pagos? I have no idea how it's supposed to be pronounced. And then in Ultraman, it was used 3 different times. For Noronga, Gabora, and Magular? Magura. Whatever the English approximation of that would be. And each time, granted, most of the changes that they did to the costume was they just swapped out the head, but that was the most noticeable change. If you actually look at his limbs, then you can tell that there's other things that they changed about him, like little ridges, or sometimes little spikes, and so the costume was modified many times. Oh, the Magular costume was modified heavily. Actually, it was modified to such an extent that if I didn't know that it was the Baragon suit, I wouldn't be able to tell. It's very reminiscent of Baragon, but it doesn't look a thing like Baragon. Now, that is another testament to this costume's durability and quality, because I have modified costumes before to make other kaiju, or similar things. And every time that I have modified a costume, the suit was not as sturdy as it was prior. And the Baragon suit was put through its paces in everything it was in. And it's also the perfect design to have fighting a humanoid style character, because it's always a humanoid type character. It's like Ultraman and Frankenstein, and we wouldn't see that design fight another kaiju until Ultra Galaxy, but that was a different costume entirely. So the suit was put through its paces. It was very well constructed, beautiful design each and every time. My personal favorite is Pegos, just because I think that head suits that body better. And I'm so glad that they brought it back for Ultraman Taiga. Yay! Very well constructed costume. Although, whenever they did get around to making Destroy All Monsters, and they had to modify the costume back into Baragon, it was not good enough to really have on screen for an extended period of time. So I think the only amount of like new footage of that costume is at the very end where they're kind of showing the different kaiju on Monster Island. But even then, that shot that they show could have been lifted from Frankenstein Conquers the World. I would have to watch the movie again, and it has been a while since I have seen it. So, yeah, Baragon, one of the best costume designs of all time. So, that is it for this video, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Until then, I bid you adieu, and I hope that you guys have a very blessed evening.